If you think good manners are a thing of the past, think again. There's a Boston suburb that's giving Pleasantville a run for its money. Allison Camerata visited a town where the mayor's #1 priority is kindness.
There was a time around 1950 when manners and civility were in vogue. Of course, that's history. Or is it? Melrose, Massachusetts, the city of 30,000, known as America's friendliest town, wants to bring manners back in style.
What we were starting to see is that this city was picking up some of the bad traits of society around us.
So in his inaugural address, the mayor talked about instituting niceness.
We're going to make sure that treating each other well is a priority in Melrose, and see if maybe that kind of spirit will be contagious.
He started by telling city workers to introduce themselves.
Good morning, Mayor's office. This is Mike.
Now, from street corners to lunch counters, pleasantness is breaking out all over.
Hi, can I help you?
At this gas station, the owner offers only full serve. Why? It's nicer.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Even in a place that's notoriously no-nonsense, some might even say intimidating, you can see a new attitude. Ever since the mayor's policy, Melrose cops have become the politeness police.
It's cool to be nice. It's cool to be polite. We change the colors of our cruisers to make them more friendly. Officers, when they go to calls now, have access to dolls. We carry them in the trunks of our cruisers, and we give them the children.
Locals think the mayor's civility policy has trickled down to street level.
I notice that they do stop at the crosswalks now.
And table manners have even come to school cafeterias. The mayor says that's where success lies, teaching the next generation that being old-fashioned is the way of the future. In Melrose, Massachusetts, Allison Camerata, Fox News.
And now let's talk to a little more to the man who's making manners happen in Melrose. Mayor Pat Guerrero joins us now from Boston. Good afternoon, Mayor.
Good afternoon and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. Now, there's something called a broken window theory in cities, which says if you walk by a house or a building with broken windows, it's more likely to encourage crime. Have you found that as a result of this niceness campaign, crime in general is decreasing?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have statistics to judge how our last year of efforts work, but we just have a broad sense that the spirit of civility and respect and for treating each other better is contagious, and it starts right at city government, and it spreads out into the community through our business community, our students, our schools, and our citizens. And it's something that we think has grown and spurned kind of a new spirit and a new energy in our great city.
Now, the first phase is easy to do. You have these general face-overs. You make things look better. What's the next phase? Are you getting down to the nitty-gritty here?
Yeah, we don't want this to just be a feel-good project that we got some good press on for a couple of weeks. We think we really want to change the way we do business in our city and help encourage a dialogue in other communities across the country. And the way we do that, quite frankly, is changing our operation. You mentioned earlier our city employees answering the phone using their names to personalize those discussions. Our business community being willing to look at how we apply customer service methods to people who enter our community. Our police department becoming more user-friendly. Our students working with seniors on projects rather than having generational tension. So all of those things combined with our clergy association breaking down some of the walls and barriers between religious denominations, these are great first steps, and we think they'll have a permanent effect on the way we treat each other in the city of Melrose.
Now, do you still have some grouches? There must be some grouches there who just don't want to be nice. What do you do with these guys? Well,
I haven't taught my political opponents to be so nice to the mayor yet, but when you look at a city of 30,000, the fact is we have a great tradition in our city of kind of protecting a good, solid quality of life. And to the extent that we can preserve that without picking up some of the bad traits that we're seeing around us in society in the era of very partisan and personal impeachment hearings, in the era of road rage, in the era of professional athletes attacking coaches, we think small-town America, cities and towns across the country like ours, are going to reclaim some pretty basic values, and we think it's a good thing for us, and hopefully we'll send a message to Washington, D.C. and other places.
Now, are you willing to guarantee that your next campaign will be a nice campaign?
I have always, in my 4 elections, have always promised to run campaigns based on my record and not others. I always think if you have to talk about other people, there's something you don't want to talk about yourself, or you don't have enough to talk about in terms of your own achievements. So,
how do you personally deal with attack ads? You must have been attacked by your opponents.
It's funny. I think at least people in our city just don't buy that stuff. It just doesn't stick. And they want to hear what you believe in. And I think if people across the country started voting for people who talked about their initiatives and their ideas, that we would have better public policy and we'd have a more healthy Washington, D.C., among other places.
And you mentioned the impeachment. I got to ask you, you come from a relatively small town, and you're a Republican, I understand. What do you think about the whole impeachment proceedings?
I think most of us in small-town America outside of Washington, D.C. would like to impeach Washington, D.C. There's been enough blame to go around, whether it be the president's misdeeds and lack of truthfulness to a grand jury or the Congress's personal and partisan behavior. We're kind of sick and tired of this thing. We wish they'd come up with a bipartisan, strong censure and get it over with and move on to the more important agenda items that affect cities and towns across America.
All right. Mayor Pat Guerrero, we thank you very much for joining us. Best of luck to you. It's a great campaign.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate it. And